Most people spend their entire lives confined within the boundaries of their own thinking. They never move beyond the familiar conclusions they've already reached, the well-worn grooves of a self shaped entirely by the past. Thought carries enormous momentum. It pulls at attention with surprising force, and if you're not careful, it can sweep you along into confusion before you've even noticed what happened. Every thought presents itself as urgent, as significant, as deserving your full and immediate focus. Each one seems to say, "This matters, pay attention, believe me." And yet the vast majority of what passes through the mind is repetitive, recycled, and functionally useless. The same anxieties, the same commentary, the same loops, wearing different clothes each time, but fundamentally the same. The invitation here is deceptively simple: stop taking your thoughts so seriously. This is the foundational spiritual exercise. Before we continue, just a quick reminder that if you'd like to go deeper into these topics, I've created a Patreon community where I regularly share exclusive content that's much more in-depth than what I post here on YouTube. The library is constantly growing, and that's where you'll get access to exclusive posts, ongoing content, and all of my ebooks. If you'd like to check it out, the link is in the description and the pinned comment. The first step is recognizing the futility of a thought in the moment it arises. There it is again. And there's another one. This recognition is itself the beginning of freedom. The practice moves beyond suppression. Trying to eliminate thoughts, to force the mind into silence, is an exhausting project that tends to produce the opposite of what's intended. Whatever you resist tends to strengthen. The mind is a restless animal, constantly in motion, incapable of sitting still for long. You don't fight it. You simply stop being fully convinced by it. When a thought arises, you know it's arising. That's all. You don't engage it, don't follow it down its preferred path, don't give it the weight it's asking for. You let it be what it actually is, a passing movement in consciousness, rather than treating it as a directive, an identity, or a truth. There is a difference between the thought and the one who notices the thought. The voice in your head is not you. The thinker is not who you are. What you are is the awareness that observes the thinker, the space in which thought appears and disappears. Knowing that a thought is occurring is itself a conscious act of self-observation, and it operates at an entirely different level. When you can recognize a thought as a thought, label it, see it clearly, it immediately loses some of its grip. It can no longer pull your attention automatically, because you've stepped back just far enough to see it for what it is. Develop a spacious relationship with your own mind. You are not the content passing through. You are the space in which that content moves. Thoughts arise in you. They don't define you. As this recognition deepens, even if it happens only occasionally at first, something significant begins to emerge. You start to notice patterns, the same emotional reactions cycling through, the same mental habits playing out. That noticing is itself evidence that a dimension of awareness is growing in you, a presence that is distinct from the noise it observes. One of the mind's most persistent habits is its refusal to remain in the present moment. Attention drifts almost constantly, backward into memory, forward into anticipation. The mind constructs elaborate versions of both, and treats them as more real, more important, or more demanding than what is simply here. Projecting into the future tends to produce one of two things: hope, when the imagined future looks better than the present, or anxiety, when it looks worse. Both are equally imaginary. The past is a collection of memories. The future is a collection of expectations. Neither exists in the way that now exists. Watch how your own mind resists the present. Notice how quickly it generates reasons to be somewhere else, something to plan, something to rehearse, something to worry about. Even the instruction to be present will likely trigger a thought that says, "I can't do that right now, I have too much to think about." Recognize that response as exactly what it is, another thought, making its familiar bid for authority, and move past it. The practice is to observe. Allow yourself to see what arises without judgment, without analysis, without turning it into a problem. Clean, direct attention. Notice the thought. Feel the emotion that accompanies it. See the reaction without immediately identifying with it. Let it pass through the space of your awareness. Stop locating your identity in your opinions and preferences. You can hold views without being defined by them. When you loosen that identification, something underneath becomes perceptible, something quieter and more stable than any particular thought. A presence that was always there, watching, undisturbed. The moment you genuinely notice that space, the stillness behind the mental activity, the stream of thought naturally slows. Attention that was feeding it has been redirected. In that pause, something more fundamental becomes available. Self-observation requires honesty more than effort. The moment you realize you've been lost in thought, you're already no longer lost, the noticing itself is presence. Every time you're able to step back and observe your own mind, you're no longer entirely at its mercy. A different factor has entered, awareness itself, which does not belong to the conditioned mind. This dimension of consciousness, deeper than thought, prior to the personal story you carry about yourself, exists in every human being. It goes by many names: presence, pure awareness, unconditioned consciousness. Whatever you call it, it is the core of what you actually are. And it is the discovery of this that makes genuine freedom possible. As long as life is run entirely by the conditioned self, the small, reactive, story-driven mind, love, joy, creativity, and real inner peace remain peripheral. They become available, naturally and without effort, when awareness opens to this deeper dimension. This is what was always already there, waiting beneath the noise.